Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode from Salvage Nation. In the last episode, we were on my MK6 VW Golf and we found some major damage. So I've spent the last couple of days speaking to the guru himself, Mustafa. I've spoken to a few other people and we've decided that the best move to make is to remove the engine, heat up the chassis legs. We don't want to cause any more damage or any more stress and break it into different places by just pulling it with the engine in. So in this episode, we're going to be removing the engine. So we've got to remove the engine of the car and get the car over to H&A Autos, where we're going to start the pulling process. And then when I take the engine out, I can hopefully repair the gearbox as well. So guys, if you're new here, my name is D. I take cars from the auctions which are damaged. I put a lot of work into them and I get them back onto the roads. And this is Salvage Nation. If you're new here, please go down below, press subscribe, make sure your bell notifications are on. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. With that said, let's go check out the car. So if you remember, we've got frontal impact. It's gone from here, it's pushed the chassis legs that way. So we're going to be removing the engine so that we can access the back of the chassis legs on that side, the back of the chassis legs on that side. I want to see the condition of the chassis legs, and then that way we can heat it up and try to get everything to be pulled back in that direction. But if you remember in the last episode, I figured out why the car is not starting. It's because there's no communication with the transmission module and the rest of the car. And if you look right there, I don't know if you can see that, you can see the pins from the transmission module. So we're going to be taking the engine out today and getting everything sorted out. So guys, to take the engine out, I've got to remove the battery, remove all the mounts. There's some other wires and plugs that I need to remove. And then there are 2 engine mounts on the top, plus 1 more down below for the gearbox mounting. Hopefully, once I remove everything, it should be a simple job of lifting with the engine hoist and pulling it. I'll leave it to the side. Then I can work on the gearbox more comfortably elsewhere. And then we'll be pushing the car down to H&A Autos, which is literally just around the corner. And then hopefully we can get started on straightening up the chassis. So if that's what you want to see, stay tuned. I'm going to stick you guys on the tripod and then we're going to stick you on a time lapse. I've got a lot of work to do today, so let's continue. But before we continue, guys, I need to tell you about today's sponsors. Today's video is sponsored by Carly Connected Car. When you get the Carly Connected adapter and you pair it up with the app, you download it on your mobile phone, you've got a very powerful car diagnosing, coding and vehicle checker all on your mobile phone with the help of Carly. And they've simplified everything, guys. So even the most intermediate user will have all the tools required to diagnose your car, to code your car, and to check the health of your car or any potential car you're going to be buying. I used the Carly adapter to diagnose this car before I knew what was wrong with it, and that's how I found out that my gearbox wasn't communicating with the car. So if you want to get one of these today, click the link down below and make sure you use the code Salvage Nation and you'll receive 10% off your order. Now that's done, let's continue.
Pick up the phone. la fond. Comme la fond. Comme la fond.
Right guys, so that was a lot of work. I've done a lot of stuff. So let me show you exactly what I've done, and then I'm gonna show you what the plan is. Let's continue. So guys, the first thing I did is I removed the battery, I removed the battery tray, I disconnected all of the earth wires, any wires that connects the car and the chassis to the engine. We need to isolate the engine. This is my replacement fuse box. If you remember, I've done a replacement fuse box because all the fuses were shredded. I still need to get the plug for this one, so I'll do that at a later date. For now, I'm concentrating on getting the engine out of the car. When I came around to this side, I took the wing off of that side as well. What I'm happy about is I had to remove the drive shafts from either side. Because this is a four-wheel drive car, to get it to roll properly, we had to remove it. But more importantly, to get the engine out of the top, we have to remove the drive shafts. So we removed the drive shafts so we can pull the engine. That drive shaft right there is all good. I've got no issues with that one. But this drive shaft is completely broken inside. You can see it's leaking oil. And when I tested it before, the outer CV joint is spinning without the actual shaft spinning. So I've already gone ahead to EU Parts, my local parts distributor, and I've bought a brand new CV joint in, which I will be replacing at a later date. And whilst I was with it, I just got the outer bearing as well, just to be safe. So I will be replacing all of that on this car at a later date. But have a look, my brakes are all right. This is the gearbox, and now that I've stripped it down, you can see the gearbox connector there a little bit more. We've got some more access. I've disconnected all of the water hoses. I've removed the water bottle that was just here, just to give me some space, because we need to isolate the chassis leg, because we're going to be putting a lot of heat on it, and we don't want any of the plastic stuff to get melted or broken or just to cause any more damage. So what's next, guys, is this is the passenger side engine mount, 1, 2, 3, and this side of the engine is going to drop a little bit. On this side, you can see just 1 and 2. So one nut there, so one, get that out of the way. So one bolt there, another bolt right there, 2 bolts, that side's going to drop. My only issue is, if you look right there, I can see a prop shaft, and that's the exhaust manifold and the exhaust. So I need to get under the car now, try to disconnect that, and then we're going to be removing the engine upwards. I also removed the high pressure and low pressure fuel hoses right there. These are the 2 right there, and obviously there's no battery in the car, so the fuel pump should be off. There's no way that fuel is going to be coming through there. Took off the airbox, that's the connector, and if you look down here, the turbo is hiding down in here somewhere. I don't know if you can see that, but you can literally see the turbo hiding there. I need to order a new charge pipe, because you can see that's got a big hole in it right there. Having a look at the gearbox, there's not a lot of damage onto the gearbox other than that, so I still need to figure out how I'm going to replace that connector right there. I'm eager to get the engine out, get all of these mountings off right there, and have a look at the naked chassis leg and see exactly what is going on. Once I get the engine successfully out the car, then we're going to push it around the corner right there, to H&A Autos, and hopefully H&A will be able to pull and sort out the chassis for me. As you remember in the previous build, Mustafa's got a lot of experience with this stuff, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he thinks about the build. So we're chugging along, there's a lot of work, but still got more work to do, so let's continue. Right guys, look how clean everything is looking. I've done as much as I can do on the top section. Now it's time to take you guys under. There's a panel that I need to remove, but before I do you remember I said to you that whilst loading the car it dropped and it broke the oil sump? Have a look at that. Like, yes, on Saturday was such a bad day. Have a look at the oil sump now. So I don't know if I can weld that or if I need to get a new oil sump. What I do know is aluminium. I'm gonna see if I can get a welder. Let me know what you guys think, if I can weld that or not. If you've got any experts in aluminium welding, let me know if I can weld that or if I need to buy a new one. Yeah, just let me know. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put you guys back onto the tripod underneath and I'm gonna get the subframe. The subframe comes in 2 parts on this car and I'll show you that right now. That needs to come down. So if you have a look guys, I've removed, this is one of the gearbox mounts right here, but to gain access to the exhaust, which is there, and also the prop shaft. If I can see it, if you look right there, right next to the exhaust, that's the exhaust there, and that little one there is the prop shaft. That is what transfers the power from the front to the rear, and there's the rear diff all the way down there because this is 4-wheel drive. So what I need to do is I need to take off this panel right here, drop this panel by removing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the same amount on the other side, and that whole panel should drop down. Then I can access the screws for the prop shaft and also the exhaust manifold, and then the engine can be lifted from above. So let's do that. Right guys, so I'm still underneath the car. It's been about half an hour. I'm down to the last bolt on the prop shaft, and if you look up there, you got 1, 2, and 3 for the exhaust manifold, which is bolted onto the turbo, which is right there. Once I disconnect that last bolt right there and these ones up there, then the engine should be ready to be pulled out the car. Then we can take it around to Mustafa's. So it's very tiring work, it's very long. I haven't got a ramp. I'm literally, look, underneath the car. So let's go. Salvage Nation, if you're watching this here not subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Let's continue. Guys, check it out. Engine is swinging. That can only mean one thing. It's now 4 o'clock. I started this at about 11 o'clock and I believe I've done everything I need to do. It's been a one-man army today. I've had no one to help me today, but got to keep it moving. But check this out. Engine is swinging, and that means it's just the 2 top mounts that's holding the engine in. It was a real pain to get to all the bits down below right there, but the prop shaft is off. The exhaust manifold is disconnected. Everything down below is disconnected. It's just these 2 top mounts. So I'm gonna go get the engine hoist and get ready to lift the engine out. there you have it, guys. The engine is out. Oh my God, I can't believe this one. I did this one all by myself. All the other engines that I've done, I had help, but this one, all by myself. Check it out. This is the damaged leg. Take a look at that, guys. Oh my God. But if you've seen my BMW, it was actually worse than that, so I'm not too bothered. So we're gonna be taking the car down to see Mustafa. We're gonna be doing the same process, heating this up, making it more maneuverable and pulling it on the dozer. I'm gonna look down in that corner and see what's going on with that one there. Have a look at the engine. The engine's only done 44, I think, 44,000 miles. Have a look at that. Literally, it's a new engine. But what's not new is this. This is the big issue. Have a look here. Bloody hell, they're all just falling apart. So the connectors on the gearbox is broken. Now, inside this black box, if you look, the rest of the gearbox is aluminium, but it's got this hard steel casing, and this is where the TCU, transmission control unit, is hidden. It's inside there for safety, but it doesn't look pretty safe to me. So, what I want to do is, I'm going to try to salvage the actual gearbox by removing 1, 2, 3 and 4, and there's just some nuts all the way around. Take this panel off, try to remove the ECU, and then I'm going to try first to get a new connector. Have a look at that. If I can't get a new connector, then I'll just try to get a whole complete TCU, which is going to be cheaper than getting an entire gearbox. Everything else on the engine I'm happy with. Everything else is great. Everything else is in great condition. So Akil, guys, listen, look at this guy. I've been waiting for him. I've been waiting for him all day. He's left me to it, but guess what? I kept it moving, and now, are you proud of me? I got the engine out by myself. Guys, it's now 6 o'clock. It's sunny. It's hot. The weather's just been up and down today, but the engine is out. Everything on the car is all right. So this is where we're going to be ending this episode. Have a look. We're going to continue to check around on that. I'm gonna literally clean up everything here, pack up all my stuff from there, put everything away. Then we're gonna be taking the car to Mustafa, jump straight back on, and then we're gonna catch you in the next episode. Remember guys, if you wanna buy a Carly, click the link down below, use Salvage Nation as your discount code. And yeah, like I always say, keep it moving. I'll see you in the next one.